100 million years ago, dinosaurs rule the Earth. The odds are stacked against any animal competing with these mega predators, especially for the evolutionary newcomers, the world's first mammals, pint-sized animals not much larger than mice.
When the dinosaurs were running around, there were also mammals. But the only mammals that were around were very small, they'd fit in the palm of your hand, and they were just trying to keep out of the way of the dinosaurs.
For mammals, the era's underdogs, it was either scurry or be squashed. These tiny creatures adapted to an unexploited niche, the nighttime, and evolved a vision system that could thrive in the dark. Night vision, a triumph of eye evolution and a trait essential for survival in many mammal species today.
Many varieties of modern mammals also see well in the dark, and many of them are also nocturnal. And in some cases, at least, this is probably left over from their evolutionary heritage as small mammals hiding in the shadows of dinosaurs, emerging at night, and feeding.
What changes did evolution make to the eyes of nocturnal animals? That's a question Chris Kirk is trying to answer.
I tell my friends it's one of those things that you would have expected that somebody back in the 18th century went around collecting eyeballs. But to my surprise, when I started looking for data on just the gross anatomy of the eye, there was very little that had been published. And so spent, about a year and a half collecting eyes.
Kirk uses his extensive collection of eyeballs to study the mechanics of night vision. By putting his subjects eyeball to eyeball, he's able to compare them and see how their anatomy has evolved to deal with the dark. What's the difference between the eye of a day-active monkey called a marmoset and a night-active fat-tailed dwarf lemur? It's the size of their corneas.
The cornea is the window to your eye. It sets the ultimate limit on how much light your eye can gather.
The cornea is a clear curved shell that provides focusing power and ushers light into the pupil. The light hits the retina, where it is converted into electrical impulses that are funneled through the optic nerve to the brain. A complex process in the blink of an eye.
The diurnal monkey has got a very small cornea because it doesn't need to let in as much light, which you can see here, as the nocturnal lemur, which has a very large cornea that takes up nearly the entire anterior surface of the eyeball.
For night hunters, a bigger cornea is key to catching fast-moving critters in the dark. And one night hunter has pushed this anatomy to the max.
Tarsiers are something completely unique. There's nothing else like this in the world of vertebrate eyes. The diameter of the tarsier cornea is almost equal to the diameter of the eyeball.
There are 5,400 species of mammals. Relative to size, none have eyes as large as the tarsier. At 6 inches tall, it's one of the world's smallest predators. But its surveillance system outsizes the competition's.
So tarsiers need both highly sensitive vision and acute vision. One of the only ways you can get this is to build a bigger and bigger eye, and that's exactly what tarsiers have done.
How big? Try bigger than its own brain.
So this is the eye of a Philippine tarsier, and you can see that its cornea is actually a little bit larger than my own corneas. But what's really amazing about this is the fact that a tarsier's head is only this big.
The tarsier's eyes are so large, they need extra support to keep from tumbling out.
The eyeball extends past the margins of the orbit, and they have to have strong connective tissue in their eyelid to hold the eyeball in place.
With immobile eyes, the creature compensates with a neck that rotates more than 180 degrees. Tarsier's visual adaptations show the extremes to which evolution will go. Many mammals, such as big cats, evolved another way to boost their nocturnal vision. A staple in fables and fairy tales, glowing eyes have haunted children for centuries. A nightmare to some is evolution's gift to others.
And they can see us just fine. They can see us a lot better than we can see them, for sure. If one of them was over there stalking us, we wouldn't even know that they were there. Even, you know, without this kind of light, they know when we're coming and they know who's coming.
Eyeshine functions as more than a mere scare tactic. It's an adaptation that has made cats spectacularly successful night hunters.
These guys, they're very active at night, and in fact, you can hear them making their noises, particularly the lion when he starts to roar, even at this hour, high-kiki. Also, the eyeshine, not only can they see their prey better, but also I think it makes them more intimidating to any other predators that are out there.
The source of the eyeshine is buried deep in the anatomy of the cat's eye.
Hold on to your hat.
Kirk's careful dissection reveals its inner workings. First, the retina. Then, the light-sensitive tissue lining the back of the eye. This area is known as the tapetum lucidum.
Tapetum lucidum is Latin for bright carpet. So it's the bright carpet in the back of your eye behind your retina.
So how does the tapetum work?
In your eye, or my eye, there's a black pigment behind the retina that absorbs the light so that it's not scattered. But in species with tapeta, any light that's not absorbed by the retina bounces off the tapetum, the mirror behind the retina, and essentially has a second chance to be absorbed. So you've got twice the chance to absorb every incoming photon of light that your eye captures.
On the rebound, some of the light shoots back out of the eye, resulting in a glowing effect. For cats, this mechanism yields extraordinary benefits. They require only 1/6 of the light that humans need to be active in the dark.
I think of the tapetum as just this marvelous adaptation. You know, it's such an elegant solution to a pretty straightforward biological problem. And, you know, putting a mirror behind your retina to increase sensitivity, what could be simpler?
Cats were far from the only mammal group to evolve such an ingenious solution to night vision. Other species would reach the same result entirely on their own.
But I think really the most interesting thing about the evolution of the tapetum lucidum is that it's such a good solution to this problem of enhancing sensitivity that many, many different groups of mammals have arrived at this same solution independently.
What about us? Even though we are mammals, we struggle to see clearly at night. That's because 30 million years ago, our ancestors shifted from the night to the day. When these monkey-like creatures moved to a new niche, they would evolve eyes that could see the world like never before. Evolve is brought to you in part by Geico.